You're listening to the Reluctant Adult Podcast. If you like what you're hearing, follow us on social media and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This is the way.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million.
This week from the internet, Jurassic World War. The latest installment in the Jurassic series asks the question, what if humans messed up the planet so bad that even dinosaurs couldn't survive here? Plus, in cyberspace, Funko can't hear you scream. Your displeasure over their digital pops. The latest NFT collectibles leave alien fans looking for a hug. And popcorn buckets aren't just for current movies anymore. I'm directly under the Earth's sun. Now! It's the Reluctant Adult Podcast.
Don't you be a dummy! Buckle your safety belt!
Think, Billy. It's morphin' time!
Ooh, welcome to another episode of the Reluctant Adult Podcast. My name is Paul, and I am joined, as always, by the man with over 100 phrases, Bill!
Hi, everyone. That's right. And sometimes I use every one of them.
That's a lot of phrases. We're going to start our show talking about Jurassic Park this week, so I was trying to look up some of the old Kenner toys to see if there was anything, like if they used like any funny terminology for the accessories or something, and you were like, oh, just get a line from the electronic command compound. So I was like trying to do that, but then I just see a cover of the box and it says over 100 phrases. I was like, there you go, that works. Were there really over 100 phrases? I don't believe that's accurate. I don't remember 100 things.
No, I don't remember 100 things at all.
100 phrases? No way. We need to do some digging on that.
Unless I had it in demo mode, but there was no way to even try it from the box.
That's right. There would be no sense in having demo mode. It's on or off. Yeah. No, there's no way 100. It didn't have 100 words combined.
All dinosaurs secured.
All dinosaurs compound secure. We talked about this last year, and I pulled some footage. Like, I think someone on eBay had it, and they were testing it out.
Yeah.
And again, we both had this, and I do not remember being able to press that button 100 times and hear 100 different things come out of it. There's just no way.
No.
This is lies. This is not truth in advertising. We need to get to the bottom of this. Maybe file a lawsuit, class action, get some money back from Kenner, now Hasbro. Honestly, we should be suing Hasbro. I have some grievances. They're coming up with PulseCon. Jordan Hembrough hosting. He doesn't even know that we're part of the show. I keep tweeting that I can't wait to work with you, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't even know you guys were going to work on the show." I was like, "What do you mean? What were you talking about? We've been talking about this for a year that we're going to host PulseCon. Are you telling me that we've just been saying this and it's not actually happening? That we're not hosting PulseCon? Is that what you're telling me?"
I think he's as surprised as we are.
We gotta get to the bottom of this. I already have my tickets booked. I'll be there.
I have my bus pass.
You got your bus pass? We can just do a show from outside the Hasbro compound. Go up to the Mr. Potato Head that's there.
We should.
I don't know. I'm concerned now. I need to get in touch. Who's our contact at Hasbro?
Right now, it's Jordan Hembrough.
No!
He's the closest thing we got. We have a contact?
Mr. Stevie, right?
Oh, Mr. Stevie, yes.
Mr. Stevie.
Yes.
Mr. Stevie, come on. Come on. I told you about the captioning software. You're gonna treat me like this? You're gonna play us like this? That's fine.
At least have
you know what?
multiple people.
And also, even worse, we still haven't heard about Dan Larson's con, Secret Galaxy con.
Yeah.
What's going on? We're getting
Chris
left out
Con
in
was
the
canceled.
dark. Chris Con was canceled.
Or non-existent.
We talked to Greg Stone again this week, and we were saying that we should put together a show.
I'll preface
for
this. Greg Stone spoke to us for an hour.
You didn't feel like it was like a back and forth?
Not on my end.
Wow. Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, you did not interject as much. The first time we talked
So
to Greg,
tough to.
you had a lot to say, but he
was talking
very,
Star Wars. I gotta tell you, I have a very interesting
despite
dynamic
your
with Star Wars.
background. I know, despite what people may think from your background.
Yes,
You don't
sure.
have a
Oh,
lot
that
to say.
background, not my actual
Not your historical
personal
background,
background.
your physical
Yeah.
background right now. So yeah, but regardless of what, despite what you just said, it was a very interesting conversation where we get very heated about Star Wars and what works, and he is very anti The Last Jedi, and I really pissed him off by
everything
saying
else.
he's pro everything else in life. The only thing in life he does not care for is The Last Jedi because, well, you have to listen to find out. That'll be a bonus pod dropping.
He made
this
some
week.
valid points. I have to
100%,
say, he made some
100%.
valid points as
Yeah.
to why. He's a little older than us, so
Yeah, I mean not
a little
not
bit more
by
impactful.
much. Sure. Did you look him up? I thought he was right
No.
around the same age. Yeah.
See,
I mean, a few years. Yeah,
it's enough.
he's our senior, a little bit. Yeah. Plus, we're just eternally young, so I always feel like we're
That's
kids
true.
anytime we have
So
like an
youthful.
adult on the show.
Grown up.
What were we talking about? Oh, Jurassic Park. So
Yes.
we got our first look at the new movie, Jurassic World Rebirth, which is not a great name right off the
Yeah.
bat.
No,
Because you were saying, what would be the sequel to Rebirth?
Afterbirth.
Afterbirth. Jurassic
Yeah.
World Afterbirth.
Just fits.
Yeah. It just you got to keep in the theme. It's like the Spider-Man, like Homecoming, No Way Home, Rebirth, Afterbirth. Yeah. So not great right off the bat. But also, I was under the impression that this film was going to take place chronologically between two existing movies, maybe like the first Jurassic World and the second Jurassic Park.
Okay.
I thought it was going to take place back in the Jurassic Park days, but no,
Like a side
it takes
quill.
place. Yeah, exactly. Or to like sort of bridge the gap, like a Rogue One kind of thing, where it's like, okay, the back when we liked the stuff.
An Alien Romulus kind of thing. Yeah, I get
Like an
it.
ambulance.
Shadows of the Empire. Sure thing.
Exactly. There's going to be an
Love
N64
that
game. It's
idea.
going to be fantastic.
Ooh.
But no, it's going to take place 10 years after Jurassic World Dominion, the most recent Jurassic World movie. And let's see, there's a plot. Outline.
There's a lengthy plot. Like almost
this
gives the
says
whole thing
5
away.
years. 5 years. 5 to 10 years. Maybe the runtime is 5 years. So by the end, it's 10 years. Research team trying to collect dino DNA from like the big dinos. I think that's how they phrase it.
The 3 largest from land, sea, and air is what
There
they
you
said.
go.
Yeah.
Because it can like it has like some miracle cure for humans, I guess.
Right.
I don't know how they know that, but they know that. And
Well,
there's a
like-
team. Yeah.
No, keep going. There's a team.
There's a team and there's a family. Just like a family going back to like what was it, Jurassic Park 3, where there's just the kid on the island? Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah, the team
Yeah.
goes and then they don't run afoul, but they run into the family and they all have to survive together.
Yeah, they gotta
Sure.
work together, sure. And apparently they discover a sinister secret that was hidden away from mankind. So, what could that be? What was John Hammond doing? John Hammond, come on. He is the character is
Sparing
dead,
no
right?
expense. Sparing no expense.
Oh, maybe that's the secret. He did spare an expense. He spared
You get to
one
the
expense.
inside of the Earth, and the inside of the Earth is just a dinosaur, and that's it.
He's like on
where they're
on one of
going.
those hamster wheels. That's how
He is the dinosaur. Maybe they bring him back to life. It's
It's
a raptor
like-
with John Hammond's head.
Oh my god, that would be fantastic. Isn't that one of the in the critic when they review?
The critic was
Jurassic Park?
Jurassic World, Jurassic Park like 3 or 2 or whatever they.
Yeah. and the
You may
raptor
have
can
us,
speak.
but you'll never get off this island.
And he's like brain gremlin or something. He starts talking.
Yeah,
to
he
them.
pulls out a pipe.
Yes. Someone at a con cosplayed as Jay Sherman, and it had a little
lovely.
speech bubble sign that said "It stinks." I was like, "Bring that back. We need to start that campaign." I don't
I mean,
understand.
quite literally, John
relevant.
Lovitz is doing just daytime game shows. He needs.
Is he
can
hosting
get right
them, or
back
he's
on-
like
No,
he's one of the guests?
He's one of the
He's
guests.
like one of the competitors. Yeah.
Yes.
I
It's
see
like that
him-
show
he's like on
where
a
they make a joke and then the person has to say, "No, that's not true." Whatever that show's called.
Whatever that show is, yeah. I
It's-
see him
it's
on
not
TikTok.
Family
He's on some
Feud. Not Family
podcast.
Feud. Hollywood Squares. Yeah, I see him all the time
Oh.
with Jamie Kennedy on,
That's
on
still a
Jamie
thing?
Kennedy's podcast. No.
Jamie Kennedy is still a thing. Good lord.
Well, I mean, he's still exists. I don't know if he's
Does
still
Jamie
a
Kennedy
thing.
predate the Jamie Kennedy experiment? Does that predate Punked? Was he before Punked, but Punked was more successful? I just remember on The Office that Michael name drops that. It's like, oh, you a big fan of the Jamie Kennedy experience?
I feel like it predates Punked.
Yeah, I feel like so.
Yeah.
But like a lot of things, like Oreo. What's the other examples of like
High
you don't
drops.
always have to be first
No, but you
to
should never be last.
the best. Well, I mean, you could be last because no one else wants to challenge you. Anyway,
You were saying that you wish
was
that
saying.
they would lose the Jurassic World brand.
I don't know why they're insistent on keeping it Jurassic World, why they can't go back to Jurassic Park. But I guess if this is... Well, I thought this was going to take place back between two of the Jurassic World movies. So that's why I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's going to be Jurassic World. I'm trying to think of, like, in the theme parks, do they use Jurassic World as branding? But no, those were created before all this, so it should still be Jurassic Park. It's like, I don't know why they're so insistent on keeping it Jurassic World. Like, they
Sure.
think that has more like
Brevity? Impact?
just like it's more current, like more current
Sure.
people going to movies.
Well, it's not a
But
park if it's worldwide. That's the thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's fair. Because the dinosaurs are out in the world, so that
They
makes sense
are.
too to call it Jurassic World. I almost
just
feel like
don't
they
like
need to
this-
start a new one, Jurassic Universe or something.
Get them into space.
Get them into space. Why not? And then combine with Alien, and you have the perfect movie. You have the perfect
Get
movie.
them on the moon. You know why they get them on the
Uh-huh.
moon? Because if they escape from the moon, they're dead, and there's no problem.
There you go.
the park
It's
on the
safe up
moon.
there.
It is.
Put the park on the moon. Idiots.
I don't like the general premise of this movie just because
Yeah.
it kind of detracts. I mean, you can detract from Dominion all you want. It was a fun, popcorny movie. But at the end, they're like, oh, I guess we're just going to have to exist with these dinosaurs. But this plot premise for this, they go, dinosaurs are... It didn't work out for the dinosaurs.
It didn't work out. Yeah.
The ecology is not
they-
great for the dinosaurs. They're going to
Yeah.
like the equator, where it's
Right.
warmest.
There's like certain areas, but I mean,
Yes.
it makes sense. It's
Sure.
you know, it's if they're trying to like inject some logic into this movie about dinosaurs existing in present
Yeah.
day, I can't be mad about that.
They-
I do
yeah.
wonder what the end goal is, because where do you want the dinosaurs? Because like this isn't going to be the last movie. They made this
No,
movie in
this
like
is-
2 years. They clearly want to keep making these movies. Like, what's the
This is the
goal
new
here with the
trilogy.
dinosaurs?
Sell more
At
toys.
least, yeah. So it's like,
This one
where do
has
you
what,
want
Scarlett
to
Johansson
go?
in it as well.
Scarlett Johansson's in it. Yep.
Yeah.
Some other people. The guy that's
Sure.
supposed to play Blade, but they keep not making Blade.
Oh yeah. Well, they're not. I don't think they will now. I think they're going to go back to Wesley Snipes.
It's not gonna happen. He
Made
can't
too much
carry
of
it.
an impact.
Jonathan Bailey. I don't know who that is, but he's in this photo with her. And it's directed by the guy that did that thing that we like.
Rogue
that
One.
I just said.
Yeah.
Rogue One. That's right. Exactly.
Yes.
So that
it
gives
might
me some
have-
hope. Did
that
he
gives
also
me
do
hope.
Godzilla?
Hope.
Did he do Godzilla?
He did. He did.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be great.
Okay.
I'm excited for this.
Maybe
now.
he'll helm the whole trilogy, and it will be excellent.
I really feel like they need to stop like hopping around directors, and maybe it's the directors that don't want to commit. Because if you're a director, unless you're like Michael Bay, you want to go like do other things. Like your life is only so long; you only get to do so many movies. You don't want to do 3 giant dinosaur movies in a row. But maybe you do. I don't know.
What if we circle back to that whole idea of where they say that they unearthed something more sinister? What if what they unearthed that's sinister is finally those human dinosaur hybrids that we had the what was it, the behind the scenes images of so long ago that they were like working around?
Did they? I don't.
They had dinosaurs with guns. You don't remember those? Those images.
I remember the dinosaurs with guns, but they were like communicating, but they didn't have like. They had human features like arms. Oh my god! What?
Yeah, it was wild.
They had like concept art of it.
They did. It was like an upright T-Rex, an upright Triceratops, and
what? Well, I need to see that. I googled dinosaur human. Just type in. Giving me anything.
Just type dinosaur human hybrid Jurassic Park. You'll find it.
Hybrid.
One of them kind of looks like the Goomba from
Mario.
From Mario. Yeah. The movie Mario, yes.
Oh, okay. Here's something from 2020 where someone tweeted, reminds me of the Jurassic Park human dinosaur hybrids. Oh, this is horrifying. Good Lord. This is amazing too.
Yeah.
This is like right out of Alien Covenant or Alien Romulus. Like this looks like I was going to say stepson. What is he? The offspring.
Yeah.
The offspring, we knew that it was a practical effect on a guy in a suit because we saw the guy who basically looks like that character, but in, a white latex. But there was some video behind the scenes, and it's creepy as hell just seeing him holding a coffee cup. He was like had his hand on his hip, just like relaxing, and the director was talking to him. That was horrifying.
They do that perspective shots that they were doing with Elf, where they make him look even larger.
Yeah.
Than he is, because I mean I'm not gonna discount 7'7". That's tall as can be. But you see him against the main actress there,
right? And
you're like, holy God.
Yeah, it's scary. The Alien. I've been really. Oh, go ahead.
You've been getting down with Alien.
I've been really digging into it. I went back on Hulu and I watched from the beginning. I went Alien, Aliens, and then I think I went Prometheus, and then Alien Covenant, which is the sequel to Prometheus, and then I did Alien 3, which is, how was that received when that first came out? Because it's not
horribly
great. It's not great.
I mean, if you're in a bad mood, it's a great movie because it's just so down.
Yeah, it's very down.
It's a totally. I think David Fincher's main idea was to kind of go back to the first movie a little bit in terms of tone, and setting. Well, but there was so much studio interference with all of it.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Originally, it was. Did I tell you last week that it was supposed to be a 2-part movie?
No.
With Ridley Scott helming one and James Cameron helming the other, and at one point, like Ripley wasn't going to be in the first half at all. She's going to show up in the second half of the movie, and there was going to be, no lie, like a 50. I think there's a script for it too. There's supposed to be like a power loader scene where there's 50 power loaders just fighting against aliens, like something obscene like that.
Why would they even have that many of those?
And then they went to the wooden planet with the monks, and it was all religious. And then somehow you found out you wound up with like prisoners in space. In space. It
wasn't good. Like you said, it was a downer. They also killed off Newt off screen.
They did. Funny story about Michael Biehn in that movie. Hicks, he made more money for just that still of him in that movie than he did all of Aliens.
That's horrifying. Just
Isn't that
because
funny?
he had to like agree to be in it, and he like held them up for money.
So he had to they just showed the stasis pod with his corpse just kind of like that.
Yeah.
And then they had the image, like the file folder image of him as a Marine, and he's like, nope, that's gonna cost you. Sorry.
I'm surprised they did it.
I'm sad for the Hulu ones. Well, Hulu doesn't allow, because I was going to watch Aliens the other day on Hulu, and it's not the director's cut, which is unfortunate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, sure. I'm sure it's not the director's cut. How do you see the director's cut?
I just have it on Blu-ray at this point,
DVD.
but you don't see it on Hulu.
Because I've been getting a ton.
There's
I know, but it's like
usually
you don't get the director's cut if there's only one version on streaming, and that's another problem with streaming is you don't get to see that stuff because people a lot of like the alien lore comes from these deleted scenes. Like we find out that Ripley has a daughter. That's from a deleted scene, correct?
It is.
And there's just a lot of like the lore building, especially for like
world building,
Prometheus now, like about the what do they call the first like alien that pops out? He has like a name.
The Deacon?
The Deacon, right.
Yeah.
So just seeing the movies, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, the Deacon? So the Deacon was like the first alien that the engineers created, and they worshipped him like a god. And he wasn't like these animalistic versions of like the xenomorphs. He like worked with them, and he was, they used him to create further life. And then I think there's like a comic where he becomes a mountain. Like what happens to him? He just becomes a mountain.
Oh, you're really digging deep. You're really enjoying it. That's good.
There's like a
That's
guy
fun.
on TikTok that keeps like answering questions, and I'm like,
I've seen him.
To learn more. I'd like to learn more about this.
I'd like to subscribe to your newsletter.
I like the cut of your jib. So there's just a lot to alien lore and stuff, and
there is
I
some
don't
better,
know how
some
we
worse.
got to this. Well, yes, I think that. And again, the thing with movies is it's not just one guy making it. You have a bunch of different people with different ideas, so things are going to kind of go back and forth a little bit, and you have to decide what you agree with, and that may not be the same thing that someone else agrees with, and that's where you get a little fan friction.
I
and
would
people
challenge
like,
you,
okay,
Paul, to read.
Yes. No. Challenge rejected immediately.
Fair enough. I'm going to stop right there.
No. Tell me, what would you like me to read?
Oh no,
book?
The books, the ones the books that take place after Aliens, where they're all right. They originally in the UK it was a continuation of Hicks and Newt, but in these they've changed the names, and Ripley's not in them till the end, and then she winds up being a robot.
Oh my god!
I'm not selling this at all to you.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah,
it seems like I would waste my time. Well, that was okay. In Alien 3, we see she goes because Bishop goes back with them, but he also gets destroyed, like messed up. Well, he was messed up already,
more
wasn't
so.
He?
Yes, yeah.
He's like
he can be
like
rebuilt, but he'll never be top of the line, as he says.
He was just a puddle and a latex mask, and I don't know why they couldn't just do that in Romulus if they already established that you could just have a latex mask talking. But
we
whatever.
talked about that. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Shear off half of his face. It'd be easy.
Yeah. But then at the end of the movie, when spoiler, Ripley, she kills herself because she has a queen alien inside her. She doesn't want that out there. A guy that looks like Bishop shows up. What? Yeah. Who is that? What? And it's not an android. It's like an actual dude.
Now, in the credits of that film, he's listed as Bishop 2. He's not listed as anything other than Bishop 2.
Mm-hmm.
But we see he gets hit in the back of the head. His ear gets like completely sheared off. Mm-hmm. And there's red blood. And historically, the artificial humans in this movie have white blood. Or
it's like this,
whatever.
And they eat it too. It's like it's everything in them. Like we see Bishop like at lunch, he's like nom, 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 nom. Right?
Precious fluid.
Yeah.
It'd be easy. It'd be more fun if it was black goo. That would be something.
Well, there you go. Tie it all together.
Tie it all together. And then, nah, that's just oil at that point.
Watching Alien Covenant, that movie was scary. Like, Alien is very scary. Alien's not so much scary. It's like more like shoot 'em up.
Yes.
Alien Covenant was really creepy because the main character in that movie is David.
Right.
And he is just a very creepy character because he's an android, but he has decided that he's going to end humanity and rebuild the species by mixing and matching these xenomorphs.
Yeah, he's not happy with that his creators are so weak, and that he is going to create life and in himself become God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that alone is a creepy sentiment. But man, some of the the action in that, and I thought the CGI was pretty good for what they use it for.
There's a lot more body horror in that movie.
True.
Anything else.
But it definitely was weird because of the David character. I feel like that is such a you got to really buy into that. Like if you are like, nah, then you're not going to enjoy it, and you're going to be like, I'm not buying any of this.
That they didn't go further with Dr. Shaw character.
It was a choice. I mean, you couldn't have her and all the David stuff. It would have taken too long because you would have had to get rid of her because she would have been like,
sure,
no, he's evil. Stop it.
Don't trust him. I sewed his head back on, and then things went awry. Don't do it.
But also, who is the guy? What's Kudruff? What's that guy's name? He's the leader.
Billy Crudup?
Crudup.
Yeah.
Is he intentionally written as the most gullible character? Because David's like, take a look inside this egg. It's cool. And he's like, okay.
Check it
and the
out,
facehugger
dude.
Gets her. Just like,
they just do silly things throughout.
Yeah.
James Franco's in that movie, right?
That's the funniest thing because he's the original captain. He dies in the pod. He gets all flamed up. Someone was saying that there's two franchises happening right now that technically James Franco is a part of, and that's the Planet of the Apes franchise because he was in the first one, and then the Alien franchise. He's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
So he's got his. That was a weird choice. It's like they just wanted somebody famous to have basically a cameo in it, or is he a big fan? What's the story behind that?
Right. What is the story? He was just on set one day. He came with Danny McBride one day. Just showed up. That's probably what happened.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Man.
Because Danny McBride's in that, and you're like, that dude's supposed to be funny. What's he doing here?
Yeah, it kind of worked, though, for that character.
Was it? I don't know I need a lot of funny in my Aliens movies.
You gotta light it. There's got to be some light. You can't have it be dark. There's got to be some comedy. And also, he wasn't super funny, but I liked when he recognized the song. I felt like that character probably needed to be sort of funny. But yeah, I think it having him right away. You're like, what's the tone gonna be here? Because then you think back to Alien Resurrection, where it's bonkers off the wall, and it's we don't need that again. That's the next one I have to rewatch. I'm dreading it.
Are you really? It's fun enough.
Is it? I just remember being what the hell is going on here? Is this a fever dream?
No. I mean, I think it has its merits. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable to see the actors. If you are a fan of Ron Perlman and Brad Dourif and Sigourney Weaver and
sure, who isn't?
Sigourney
Weaver is going to be in The Mandalorian and Grogu. It was revealed this week. I don't know, but we don't know who. We don't know who she's going to be playing. I feel like she would get along really well with the Amy Sedaris character. I hope they have some interactions.
Oh, you think so? I would like to see her. She'll be a Mandalorian with her helmet on the whole time. That will be what it is. It'll just be her voice.
I mean, it could be. That's probably. I mean, she's not.
The scenes where he's in Hoth. Is it? Wait, he goes to Hoth in this, right?
Is it Hoth or just? Do we know it's Hoth?
It's some snow planet, but aren't there AT-ATs on the planet as well?
They just left them there.
But we've seen images and video of this, right?
No, I know, but the Empire just left the AT-ATs on Hoth after everything was done.
I'm just wondering if that's. I mean, sure, they probably did.
It could be. There's no reason. I would like to see the Wampa, the one-armed Wampa, running around. Or is that he loses one arm? Yeah, that's the cameo I want.
That's going to be Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney Weaver's going to be the one-armed Wampa.
She's going to be the one-armed Wampa. I love Tauntauns. We need to see what current day effects can do with a Wampa, because the Wampa was a mixture of a puppet and stop motion. It was not the best effect. So I'd like to see a
stop motion?
Day.
I think it was always
when he's running it's stop motion, right?
No, he's never running.
The Tauntaun?
The Tauntaun. I thought you meant the Wampa.
Tauntaun. Oh, the Wampa.
yes.
No, the Wampa's always a puppet. Yeah, he's always a puppet.
The Wampa was always a puppet until the special edition, and then it was a man in the suit.
Wampa, there have been a lot of toys made of him, and every single one looks different. Like, what does he actually look like? Why are all the toys so different from each other? No one can agree on what the Wampa looks like.
It's not one. No two Wampas can look alike.
That's true.
Like the old Kenner 12-inch Wampa, which was just like a gigantic bear. It made no sense.
Yeah. Isn't there a deleted scene where he invades Echo Base and like takes out
that was the whole
some
actually
soldiers?
So if you go and watch Empire, there's the scene where Han flippantly tells the rebel officer that he'll see him in hell, and just takes off with the Tauntaun. In that scene, there's a 2-1B droid doing an examination on a dead Tauntaun, and it's implied that there was supposed to be a battle between the Rebel Alliance and the Wampas.
Yeah.
The Rebels and the Wampas. And then they sealed them in a room, and then there's a scene where C-3PO takes the warning sign down as they're escaping Echo Base.
It's
and
like comedy.
have you seen that? The snowtroopers
I've seen,
open it,
yeah,
and then
I've
an
seen the
arm
shot.
just reaches out and grabs the snowtrooper.
Right. That's what I'm saying about movies. There are so many instances of like if that scene had been included in the movie would have been ridiculous. Like someone was like, cut that, and like we're so much better off. Get that out of here. That's it's not gonna work.
Thank goodness that someone was like, this detracts from the tension of the whole scene.
Right. We don't want like the comical music playing over this.
Yeah.
See, the guy who said cut that, he was not present during the prequels, or he would have cut the whole 3PO. I've lost my head, or like whatever he says.
All his
he gets
zingers.
on the battle droid.
I'm beside myself.
Yeah, that went on for 20 minutes. I'm like,
kept going.
Who thought this was
is
okay?
Such a drag.
Who thought
this is such a drag?
It's such a drag. I know. I was like, well, each one worse than the other.
Yes.
Good Lord. Wow, we've talked about a lot of things, but before we head to a break, I do want to talk about one more alien thing, because you know how much I love Funko's digital pops. They're NFTs.
You love to hate them, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't. I actually really hate to hate. I hate that they exist because Funko wants you to buy these. They want you to spend your money on nothing. So they make the best pops and put them in the digital pop program, and now there's a whole wave of alien themed pops. You got Ridley with the cat, Jonesy. You got just
Ash's
the head, Ash's head left over. You got the spacesuit and the alien egg. There's a xenomorph. Just like awesome. Like I would absolutely collect these, but I absolutely will not buy into this NFT gambling shit. Like no way.
I agree with you. Yeah, I would be mad.
And then it's like, when do they even come? And there's like a whole thing where like, oh, you can buy the NFT from someone and it's cheaper usually than actually waiting until it's a physical thing and buying that. And I'm like, I don't need to learn a whole new like way of
collecting it's bad.
Exactly. I don't need to relearn collecting.
They had those turtle ones out. Oh yeah, what is it? They have Freddy Funko with the chest burster. But
and
they
the
have the turtle ones.
has this little crowd on it. I would buy that too.
Yeah,
damn it!
Like the turtle ones it seems like once a week they're putting out a different license where it's like you could have it only if you buy the invisible NFT. But like they have like the baby turtles. They have the baby turtles
in the ooze
and the TCRI thing and the ooze, and it's like that's pretty cool.
The broken canister. I know. I would have bought those.
Not to be.
Like I'm getting the Target one where it's Bullseye and the baby turtle. Like I love that cute shit, but I'm not gonna gamble like on NFTs. No. Get out of here. But they must be making bank because they literally have to make nothing. They make the digital image, and then people buy that, and then they do make some physical items, but not to the extent that they do from normal stuff. So it's good for them, bad for us, and I don't like stuff that's bad for us. Fuck you.
Turns me off.
Turns me off, absolutely. Well, there's a lot more to talk about, so we'll take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll talk about all that stuff. Well, before the break, we were talking about Jurassic Park, amongst all the other things we're talking about. And I did want to mention this. Matt Cardona, professional wrestler, he in the WWE, he was Zack Ryder. He runs, he and Brian Myers run but they have a podcast, and then they have a Facebook page that is, if you're a wrestling fan, wrestling figure fan, it's a great place to hang out. He and Brian, they got a couple figures from Super 7. For a while there, Super 7 was trying to do wrestlers. They did like Japan, but then they had the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. I got Series 1. They were pretty good. They did Series 2 recently. They took a long time to finally ship them. They were super expensive. They were $75, which is, you know, the normal Super 7 Ultimates are $55. So the matte figure had like way too much paint deco, so they had to bump up the cost. And they were very transparent about how many of those even got produced because they were made to order. And it was very few. Oh. So I don't know if those will be like super rare in the future, or if people are still like, that's way too much money. But the plan apparently was always to use those molds and make another set. But I think time ran out on the contract with you know, the guys and Super 7. Yeah. But Matt Cardona made his triumphant return to wrestling after 4 months off from an injury, and he re-debuted with Jurassic Park inspired gear, and he came to the ring in the Jeep, and he had a video that played that like that iconic the Welcome to Jurassic Park and the flare and all that stuff. And Super 7 is making a figure based on that exact gear, and it's back to $55, so it's more affordable. But it's just interesting.
That's good.
It's like you know, it doesn't say Jurassic Park because it's not an official product, but it's, you know, it's cool that they're doing like Jurassic Park colors. So if you're a big fan of either him or Jurassic Park, you can go get that. Now, Super 7, they made some news this week, and they did so in sort of a low-key way, where they just put up some new listings, and then there was something different, something unique about these listings, and people are like, oh, wait a minute, these are Ultimate figures stripped down of all the like extra accessories and put on a blister card, and instead of being $55 each, they're only going to be $35.
Oh,
I'm like, wait a minute, Super 7 is learning. They're evolving. They're adapting to the market. It's an all new Super 7. I'm excited for this.
Are they going to like dip back into the well of properties? Like, they can't do Simpsons again, but do you think they'll just like, go back? And
I don't know. I think it would be.
You think this is a push to retail?
It very well could be.
Target.
Well, think about this.
Walmart.
You're paying $20. Walmart, Target are stocking reaction figures and charging $20. For an extra $15, you can get a fully articulated 6-inch, highly detailed action figure. That is a much better deal. You put those two things side to side, and you're like, 100 times out of 100, I'm gonna get the they're calling them deluxe. They're not ultimate. What's less than ultimate? Deluxe. Still pretty good. So the two they have right now, they have ODB, Old Dirty Bastard, and another one. another musician, rapper character that I'm not familiar with.
Notorious B.I.G.
Is that who it is? Okay.
I thought so.
I actually like that figure. It's like big and bulky figure. But I think this is tremendous. This shows that Super 7 is trying. They've listened, and they've heard that we don't need all of the extra accessories. We'd rather save $20 per figure.
Sure. We don't need all those extra sleeves. We can.
Oh, and all the extra packing material? Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need that.
And then I just thinking about it, they're doing a set of Power Ranger figures, and the packaging is reminiscent of the old, like the original Bandai figures in that weird, like triangle shaped box. And those are $35. And those only come with a few accessories, and they look like the original flip head accessories. Like the gun is cast in white, and the weapons are cast in all gray, which is a choice, that I don't necessarily agree with. And then they're shiny. And those are $35. So we'll see if that was the problem, if the price tag was really the problem, because they're still trying. with this Power Rangers license. They have Bulk and Skull coming out soon. They just announced Lord Draken as a brand new Ultimate figure. So I'm curious to see what other characters they try, because we know that Hasbro's Lightning Collection is donezo. And we know that Playmates is going to do Power Ranger figures geared towards kids, so we're not going to probably see any deep cuts or any collector-oriented, super articulated Power Ranger figures. So if you want that kind of stuff, the collector market, Super 7 is it right now. So they have a chance to do some, do some good work, get some characters, maybe some Squat and Babu to go with that Finster. I don't know why we keep getting Finster, but they can't do Squat and Babu.
That's true. That's very true. You gotta finish that core bad guy team from.
Yeah, we got Rita, we got Goldar.
Here's my question for you: in the Power Rangers movie, why did they not have Squat and Babu? Why did they go with that weird little pig dude?
I think it's probably the same reason of why we didn't get Bebop and Rocksteady in the Ninja Turtles movie. I don't know, but there's precedent for them just making a change to make a change.
What was their function in the show? Like
Squat
Finster
and Babu?
obviously made Finster obviously made the monsters.
Made the
That's
monsters,
apparent.
sure.
Goldar was like the warrior, like the battle beast. What were those two guys about? Yeah.
So I don't think it was shown too much in Power Rangers, but in the original Sentai, the Japanese footage, they were more involved. They would go down and they would scout. They would pick up. They would steal people. So I think that footage probably didn't jive with what they were doing for the Power Rangers story. So you really didn't see them doing much of anything. They just were kind of there as the hype squad.
Babu was like a stripped down blue bat, right? Is that how you would identify?
What are their names? What in Babu? Squat? Squat was the small. He was the shorter, fat, light blue one.
Yeah,
right?
he had armor on him and a helmet and everything. And Babu had the monocle and.
Yeah,
I remember him being very bat-like, almost kind of like Gary Oldman's Dracula bat.
Oh, maybe. Well, okay, so Goldar was a flying monkey, a blue flying monkey, from Wizard of Oz. So I kind of thought Babu was similar to that.
Okay, yeah.
But now I need to look up what he looks like. You said he had a monocle, right? And he had
I believe so.
He is very bat-like.
Yeah. I'll have to look.
He has these weird tendrils with claws just hanging around.
Right.
His body is almost like the xenomorph body.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's got this tubular Geiger look to it. Yeah, he's very xenomorph looky. That's crazy to go back and look at him. But he has big monkey ears. So I feel like there's something there.
Okay.
But I don't know, obviously this was designed by the Japanese team, so he probably is a reference to something from Japanese culture that we're not aware of. But I don't know. But he is very creepy if you really look at, and then even looking at Finster, these guys are so detailed. But
I always loved the creature designs.
Yeah. Because they were so unique, each one of them. There was no cookie cutter design to the monsters. And that's why I was so sad that Hasbro's Lightning Collection monster line flopped. Because those are great figures. Like that King Sphinx figure. It's a great figure. Great. Nobody wanted it, but it's a great figure.
The Pudgy Pig, incredible.
Pudgy Pig. I think it was my figure of the year. It is incredible.
Yeah, you enjoyed it. Yeah, I have all of them, and I don't collect Power Rangers.
Yeah, you just like the monsters.
Snizzer, I like the monster. I like the designs.
Snizzer,
nice,
yeah.
It's a nice little set. Is there one more? The Minotaur I have to pick up.
Minotaur, yep.
And he's pretty bland, but that was I think the last one.
Pumpkin Wrapper. That was in series.
Pumpkin Wrapper was series
not
one.
My favorite. Not
the Sphinx.
The Sphinx. The Sphinx.
King Sphinx. That's as much
Yeah.
Power Rangers talk you're going to get from me for the whole year, so you're welcome.
I mean, that's probably all that's all there's going to be to talk about.
It's going to be the clip of the week.
It's just the clip of the week.
Bill
Power
talks
Gone
Power
happens.
Rangers. This just in.
I know all of our Power Ranger friends are going to be so proud of you. They're like, oh, Bill,
Thank you.
He's showing his
Bill
knowledge.
entered the conversation. What?
Wow. What's going
Who
on?
knew he was just really all about Babu this whole time?
Babu is your wheelhouse. Yeah, big Babu fan.
Yeah.
Honestly, looking at him, when we're done here, take a look at him. He's very alien-like. It's kind of like, I want a spin-off. I need to read the novelization of his, like, Tales from Jabba's Palace. Like, what was Babu doing in his off time?
Sure.
I showed you a picture this week of some new 12-inch Ghostbusters.
You did.
Ace Toys, I think, is doing them.
Yeah, that sounds
Star
sounds
Ace,
accurate.
something like
Star
that.
Star Ace.
Yeah. And they did that Stay Puffed. Did that ever come out?
Oh, I don't know.
Because they're promoting like a new burnt, like crispy version.
Okay.
Now there have been several 12-inch Ghostbusters in the history of toys.
Yeah.
What were the first ones? Was it the Mattel ones, the official ones?
The Matty Collector exclusives?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those sucked. Those were disappointing.
Well, for the time they were great, but you remember there was the whole debacle with. No, they did well. They started with Ray, and they were serviceable. I would say the
Serviceable,
flight
yeah.
suit
The
is
proton
good.
pack.
The
Yeah,
proton pack is good.
great.
The
But
sculpts,
the body.
yeah, sure. The body. Well, I mean, we're looking at what, early 2000s. I mean,
But Sideshow was out
certainly
there
not
making
Sideshow.
stuff.
They were. You're right. There was definitely room. But you're talking about the same company that owns Barbie, and they were like, just slap a Ken Buck underneath there. No one will know.
I know.
And he's got
That's
the
the
arms,
problem.
and that's all he does. He can hold the look at kinda.
That's why the Mego figures were so disappointing. They didn't invest in good bodies.
Couldn't do that. So yeah,
But then
we've had
there were
those.
some really good ones. There were some really
shampoo
good,
bottles.
expensive ones. Well, okay, jumping right to present day. Yeah,
No,
but no,
there was
there was,
Blitzway.
like,
Blitzway did theirs,
Blitzway. Yes,
and
yes.
that set the standard.
Sure.
And that was one of those sets where I think the buy-in was like $800
Yes, they're very
for the
pricey.
set of 4, and then they made the Ecto 1 as well.
Oh my God, they did.
Yes,
It came out?
You
You
didn't
could get
know
it?
yes, the Blitzway Ecto 1.
Oh yeah.
I believe it's like 4.5 feet long. It's huge because it's in scale with the figures.
Well, sure. So you can get it for $2,500 right now on eBay.
That's actually pretty cheap because I think
That's I mean, like, if you think about it,
I don't think
yeah.
it's that. Yeah.
Yeah, here's one. This one is $2,000, but $500 shipping. So there you go. And there have been some. The Blitzway ones, were those official? They must have been official.
They were official. Yes.
Okay. There have been some not official ones. I'm just looking right here.
There was I think, was it a Toy Fair or was it a San Diego Comic-Con, and a small company put some out on display, and they were like served like on the convention floor. They were served like a cease and desist, and they had to pull the whole display.
I'm just looking on eBay. There's something called Present Toys, and they have a 12-inch Peter.
Yeah.
The sculpt is very angry. I kind of see the Bill Murray. Bill Murray, notorious hard to capture in plastic.
Yes,
there
of
have been
course.
some okay ones recently, but I think he may get final approval, so you're never going to get like the hairline correct, because he's always going to be like, give me a little more hair up front, just a little more.
Yeah, I think Blitzway did a good job. I think the Mattel one was horrendous to the point where we had collectors, I think, taking a hairdryer to the head and like squishing it down.
Exactly.
And that was the solution.
Misshapen. Yeah.
Yes, it was misshapen in the clamshell.
I hate the Matty ones. You could get the 2-packs at Big Lots, and that's I did. I got one of them from there.
That was such a great time to be a collector. Like that was like the introduction to close out, like good closeout toys.
Right.
Because you'd go and like every single week there'd be like a Motu Origins. It wasn't Origins.
Right.
What was it?
Whatever.
Was
it
it
was just He-Man at the time.
It was He-Man. It wasn't
Motu-
Origins. It was
Motu.
the ones that
Classics? Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah, Motu Classics. You had Classics, and then you'd have boxes and boxes of the Ghostbusters stuff. So fun.
Definitely picked up. I wish I picked up more.
But Star Ace, you have those, and I told you I didn't like the color of the jumpsuit, the flight suit.
Right. It's just something very weird from like the belt to the head, like that torso area. It just looks wrong. But I can't
It's
like
boxy.
Exactly. Is that what it is? It just,
I think the flight suit looks a little too pressed and crisp.
yes,
And
that's
it's not
what it is.
it's not falling
wrinkled.
on
Yeah.
it's not falling on the figure itself, which
Yeah.
obviously there's tons of ways to work with that, between like wetting the fabric and letting it rest down, or really just kind of like annihilating it or dyeing it. There's all sorts of things that you could do, but would you do them?
Well, the company has to do it. I'm not spending all this money and then having to do that
Right,
work
and then
myself.
ruining your figure. You don't want to ruin your figure.
Ruin my finger. Just look, I googled Star Ace Ghostbusters, and it seems like they did a 1/8 scale statue set of Ghostbusters.
Okay.
So they've been pumping out some stuff. Now they only showed pictures of Peter and Winston for these new 12-inch figures. The other figures had like shadows over them, so it's like they're not ready to reveal those sculpts yet, I guess. So I don't think these are up for pre-order. They were just like showing them off.
Okay.
They'll
They'll probably be cheaper than those Mondo real Ghostbusters.
No, you can get them. You can get them on Big Bad Toy Store. You can pre-order.
Oh.
$284 they want for each of them.
For a little tiny human. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't think they got some work to do before I would be like on board with this. I don't know that I love the Winston sculpt. Let me check
I'd have
out
to take a closer look at these.
Bill Murray.
I'm almost there with Bill Murray.
One's good.
Almost
Yeah,
there.
I think there's just not any character in the face. He's
No,
too
there's
subdued. They need to pick an expression. Like this Bill Murray, he's got to have the look on his face. There's nothing there. There's nothing in those eyes.
He's got like the look that he has when he sees Slimer in the hallway.
Not even though. I feel like it could be even pushed a little further. I feel like there's that one shot where he has the walkie-talkie up, and I was almost going to say that, but I feel like it could be pushed a little further. But then you need more. You need some more, because they come with alternate heads, right? There's a couple looks for him.
Yeah, he's just disappointed looking. It's like
he's just disappointed.
Left my career in parapsychology to do this.
Yeah. So.
That's the thing too. Like you're looking at this, and he's just like casually like holding the particle thrower, and it's just like, yep, this is my job. There's no exertion to this.
That's right. Yeah. We need some energy in these, some life.
Yeah, there's no energy.
Some life in these.
Like last week's show, there was no energy.
I know what happened. This week is much better.
Much better. I don't know. I ate. I think I had food.
You didn't eat last week? You gotta eat.
No, I'm pretty sure I did. I was going
like my wife. It's like she's like, I got a headache. It's like, you drink any water? She's like, no. I was like, okay. Well, we have this conversation.
You bring up the
day.
wife. I think that was the problem. I think it was my wife last week. Was the problem.
You were always the problem. You all good this week?
Yeah, more or less.
No, more or less. We talked about Funko recently, and I don't like the decision with the NFT pops, but they made a good decision. So they have this Pop Yourself program. I have my own. My family acquired.
There he is.
This is me. There's me. They have worked out a deal with the NFL where you can now get your pop and you can get your team logo right on your shirt. And then you can come with like a football or a foam finger.
There you go. So you're your own fan. That's great.
That's gonna do really well for them. I feel.
Could you imagine how easy it would be for them to make like football like players as pops with just the helmet on, and then you can be your little pop fan and be like, look at me.
Yeah. I just wonder how far it'll go. Like, if you give him the helmet, I would love to have like a Patriots helmet for my guy. But this is the missing ingredient from what Hasbro tried to do with their selfie series.
Yeah.
They had those NBA bodies for the starting lineup figures. All they had to do was slap the heads on those, and people would have gone crazy.
I think people would have gone crazy too if they just did a line. If like they went to selfie series, and rather than just do, it doesn't work for all body sizes, but let's say they did just like a civilian body,
right? Yeah,
and then a head. You could, I would have enjoyed that.
You know, I don't know, because I would like that. I would like a generic me, but I don't know how many people. I think like you could get. I think the idea there were some generic characters, like you could be a stormtrooper, you could be a rebel pilot.
Yeah,
and the fact that wasn't good enough, you could be a Power Ranger. Like if that wasn't good enough, then maybe I think the real problem with that program is the heads just didn't look like people.
They weren't.
Lot of the time.
They weren't. Yeah, there were some that were really bad. You and I lucked out, but like
we were pretty good.
I always just have mine at the ready to show it off.
Oh sure.
But it's like I should show that off to actual people and be like, look at this action figure of me, guys. What do you think?
I have a little shoebox, the shoebox from like the mini shoes, and I have my heads rolling around in there in case I need them.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think you and I were the only ones ever really truly excited about the selfie series,
or people that looked like us. I feel like I've seen some that kind of just look like me.
Yeah.
So I think this program was just made. That's why we should have hosted last year's PulseCon, because they got all of the figures as selfie figures. And I would have been like, this is amazing. These all look fantastic. But then they sunsetted the program like immediately after that PulseCon. So, oh, well.
I think it was because Dan Larson called them out for putting his head on a Black Panther figure. And he was like, no, don't put this here. How dare you?
He had some qualms that he communicated, and maybe they didn't like that. I don't know. You got to be true to yourself. He's got a brand to protect. It's not the Hasbro brand. So I think Funko, very smart. It'll, obviously NFL, very popular. I don't know if they'll expand into like Major League Baseball or hockey or anything, but the sky could be the limit. And this, I feel like, is a very smart business move. So we'll see.
They can put them in every single fan. What is it? What do they call those? What do they call the gift shops? Pro shops?
The pro shop, yeah.
Could you imagine a pro shop, and it's almost like the Build-A-Droid at...
Yes. Yeah, it'd be so easy, because you would just need the one shirt. And then
you need the one shirt.
The head, and the hair, the beard comes off. Like, it's just...
Yes.
Look at that. Hair comes right off.
You have a bucket of parts. Them right around. You got a bucket of parts, and I got a female body and a male body.
Because all the bodies will be the same.
Yeah.
Very smart. Very smart, yeah. And you could charge a premium. People are crazy about sports.
$25, $30, $30 for that.
$30 out the door.
Save Funko, everybody.
Let's save Funko. They kind of suck. We're going to save our own company. We've got a lot of ideas all of a sudden. You like popcorn buckets, right?
I do.
Now they're starting to do popcorn buckets for movies that aren't even in theaters.
They're doing popcorn buckets for anniversaries. That's what they're doing. Yeah.
They're doing the Batman popcorn bucket, and it's the bat signal. And it actually lights up and projects the bat signal on the wall.
Yes, to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Batman.
Oh, that very important, the very important 35th anniversary.
The 35th.
That's a big one. That's a big one. Who doesn't remember their 35th anniversary? What's the traditional gift? String? The 35th anniversary?
Got you a ball of yarn.
Woo. Let's look it up real quick. 35th anniversary gift.
I think they're more
AI says, where is it? Why is it making it so hard? Oh my god. Why wouldn't AI just tell me immediately?
AI doesn't want you to know.
I don't think there is one. Do they stop after a certain?
You just assume you die. It's like Logan's Run.
Coral.
Coral.
The 35th anniversary gift in both the UK and US. Coral. However, as this is now endangered, often the color coral is substituted instead. I don't even know what coral is, I guess, because they have a picture here that's like red, yellow, and green. I don't even know what coral is. I thought coral was like a color.
Crying out loud.
Well, there you go. Color with a U. Don't like that. So there you go. You going to get this popcorn bucket?
Probably not.
Okay. I thought it would be fun if you just poured the kernels in and then it popped them. It looks like it would. It's like a tub. It looks like it's
this
a tub.
This is an AMC popcorn bucket, right?
Is it? It's not Regal.
It's available now. It's an AMC bucket.
Good. Well, this really opens the door to anything.
Right.
Like, what are some movies from the past that aren't getting updates that have
Jaws,
something?
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
How come we don't have Back to the
DeLorean? That'd be
Future
great.
back in the theaters? When is that? Was 85. Back to the Future better be in the theaters next year. So help me. Could you imagine a DeLorean popcorn bucket?
Yes, I very easily could imagine that.
I could too. Or
That's like too easy.
Now,
what else
It's
could they
not
do? That's too easy. You open up the sports almanac. It's got popcorn in it.
Well, they've got the book for the recently deceased as a popcorn bucket.
Yes, I did see that.
And it's made of metal. It's a tin.
Woo.
Yeah.
I was at a thrifty kind of store today, and they had the Mouse Droid popcorn bucket from the Disney parks.
Oh, classy.
Classy, yeah. Give them that nice strap.
I gotta get a shelf for all my popcorn buckets now. I kind of went crazy.
Is a shelf the best way to display them? Do they all?
I feel like
they don't all have like straps. Those are just like the Disney park.
Those are the
ones.
Disney ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're looking around now. I'm looking at 6 different popcorn buckets.
You know what you should do? You should hang them from the ceiling with some like fishing line.
Oh, like I used to do with my vehicles?
Yeah, because they're so big.
That was always
to be able to
that was
see
the
them.
best part of my room as a child was the hours spent with fishing wire and hooks, putting my Star Wars ships up in the up above
Securing
me.
the fleet, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so
fun.
great.
That was fun.
And I had like a star field with those glow in the dark stars.
Has your room been kept like as is, as a museum? Or did someone else take over?
No,
your
everything
space?
everything came out. My mother kind of uses it as storage now.
There you
She
go.
still calls it my room, of course.
Well,
but
sure, of course.
She's like, when I get your room cleaned, and I'm like, I don't know if there's any coming back from this.
No.
Gotta help you. Oh,
What do you think they'll do for Jurassic Park?
like a dino egg, or like
Yeah, that would be good. Well, if it
giant
was the old movie, they
amber-
could have done the
amber mosquito.
gyrosphere.
oh sure,
That's good. Oh, a giant rock of amber, and you stuff the popcorn, and you can see it. That would be fun. Yeah. There's lots. There's lots.
There's so many. I think it's
so much
popcorn bucket. It's so easy. It's so easy.
It
'Cause,
is.
like by default, you could just make it a bucket with a character around
Right.
it.
Yeah.
But then
that's
if you
boring.
really want to go all out, you do what they're doing with like Deadpool and with Beetlejuice now, where they have the tombstone and the back of the tombstone it lights up in the back of it. It's like the most inconvenient. It's like a popcorn bucket, but it's not because there's no way you can fit
No, there's nobody's buying
any
these
amount
type
of
popcorn.
popcorn.
No.
Yeah.
These are just collectibles now. The ante has been upped. Like it's like people. There's going to be like the popcorn bucket awards, and people are trying to like win that. Now.
Oh,
Like,
sure.
how crazy can you make your popcorn bucket? Oh man, the best is yet to come. I didn't put this on the list, but we got to talk about it. The Ben Cooper figures from NECA. This new set went up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Story. Big Bad Toy Store, and it includes some bangers. You have Gizmo and Stripe the Gremlin. You have
do.
Beetlejuice, and you have the Xenomorph. Now,
Yes,
I want to talk about the Xenomorph. So first of all,
you can.
these are based. Come with me on this journey. These
I will.
are based on those original Ben Cooper. So the original Ben Cooper costume, it has like white in the middle.
It does. Right.
Which is not what the alien looks like. I don't know if that's supposed to represent like the sheen because they were shiny, or what the deal was.
I don't think
with
so.
that.
I think it was just to add like an extra layer. Because I mean, if you take everything away, there's no detail to it. It's just
It's just black. Yeah, it's
just black.
Right.
So
Right.
I think it's to highlight. And then that original, I mean, the original alien, the big chap, has beneath the dome is a skull,
A skull, right?
and
right.
it is like an off-white color.
It's a skull. Yeah, skull colored. Yeah.
Yes,
You see
yeah.
it through the dome, right? Yeah.
You do.
So that's fine. Obviously, these are costumes on bodies of these children bodies, and there's a variety of nationalities represented. You don't really see, you can't, the mask doesn't come off. I don't know that there's a full face sculpted under there, but you can see it. And obviously the arms are bare.
Any of mine apart. I do have the mummy.
I feel like they wouldn't go through the trouble of sculpting the whole. You can see through the eye hole, so there's like something there. Yeah, you can see their eyes.
I guarantee you somebody's out there taking the faces off these things.
I would have thought we'd see it by now. I haven't seen it. Nobody wants to desecrate their figure. I mean, but you can obviously tell the art. They're just T-shirts, so the arms are bare. Yes. So for this set, Gizmo and Stripe they look Caucasian, and then Beetlejuice has a little bit of a tanner look, and then the Xenomorph, they went with a darker skin tone.
Yes.
Now, how do you think they make the decision on which character is going to be which skin tone?
I like to think that it's just completely random.
You think it's random? You don't think they looked at the Xenomorph and they're like, this character is primarily black. Maybe it would look weird if there was like a very white child. Like it would just, you would break up the look. I feel like that was intentional.
Okay.
Like I feel like I do. You don't, you think they just
fine.
Like, that's,
no, I think, I mean, I think there's, no, I think there's a little bit, I think there's precedent for it. I think you make a valid point that you said, from a design aesthetic, especially with the alien character, that you don't want to break up the color tone of the overall mask and costume and anything else with like Caucasian skin.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's fine.
That's fine. And thankfully, I shared with you a photo.
Yes.
There is a Google image of...
You can Google it. Yeah.
You can.
A child that looks like this figure wearing this. I feel like this is that episode of The Office where Michael is working down in the warehouse, and he's trying to like befriend basically the warehouse crew, and he's like, everyone likes pizza, like black people like pizza, right? It's like, do black people like Alien? Yeah, I guess so. Black people like Alien. Yeah, I might cut that out. That's okay. Everyone should like it. Alien is for everybody. Alien is for everybody. Moving on. I saw that McFarlane is doing these 1/3 scale Batman cowls as collectibles.
Okay.
Did you see this? It's part of like Target's.
No. I thought I saw like
collector
a
thing.
1x1 Batman cowl from McFarlane.
I think they're doing that too, but this one, they specifically had 3 on display, including Batman animated series. So it's just the cowl. There's no head in there. So it's interesting. I don't know how big 1/3 is, because I remember getting this one.
You got your Power Ranger helmet.
I know.
Yeah.
It was like it's a bust. So it was like the waist to the head, and it's like supposed to be 1/2 scale. But it's 8 inches tall. I was like, this math doesn't seem correct.
No,
I don't think that doesn't make any sense. How is that half scale? That doesn't make any sense at all. So I have no idea how big 1/3 scale would be. Like, I don't want to even venture a guess. I will be disappointed.
Probably dainty. It's probably not that big.
It's probably dainty. Yeah, it's probably not big at all. Just put it on your desk. A nice desk toy.
Of course.
But there's something weird about McFarlane, especially with doing the Batman the animated series stuff, because you go back to that first series when he first got the license, and they did the Batman, and I think they did Superman, and then they were like mislabeled, and they were all the scales were crazy, and then that was it for those. They didn't do them anymore. And now they've come back, and they're taking the molds from the original DC Direct figures, and they're re-releasing them, and they're either adding the cell shading or not. But I think also like the plastic is a different quality and the paint is a different quality. Sure. And it just is such a downgrade. And if like you never had a chance to get those figures, this is your only shot at a reasonable price. I mean, they're still very expensive for mass market toys, like $30. And they have a Build-A-Figure there's just something weird about how he's using this license. And then somebody posted that McFarlane, since he got the DC license, he has released 211 different Batman figures, like the character of Batman.
I believe.
I think I almost felt like it would be more.
Okay.
It's like, but I'd like to see the number of other characters.
Sure.
Do you think he's released 211 non-Batman characters? I don't even know.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. Because you have like whole series that are just Batman.
Now, is this the 4th year or is this his 3rd year with this license?
I think it's at least 4.
Okay.
Wasn't
he originally slated to only have it for 3 years?
Yes, and that's what I was gonna say. It's already been renewed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like on the new.
Everyone loves it.
They're selling well. It's selling well.
Do.
But it's just weird to me. I don't know. But I'm a big fan of the animated Batman. So anything that's lesser than something that already exists, I feel a little weird about. But it's better than nothing for people that never had
I mean, if I got in on these and was really interested, if it wasn't for that cell shading, I probably would have been buying these because I never bought the original DC Direct ones.
Right.
But that cell shading on that first wave really took me out.
It was just a choice, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
He should have asked
the choice
a few
for
more
me.
people. Should have asked a few more people. Is this a good idea? No.
Should have gone to a couple more podcasts. Been like,
I know.
hey,
you went on the wrong podcast, Todd.
Yeah.
We would have told you the truth. Straight shooting with Todd McFarlane on the Reluctant Adult podcast. Before we sign off, I do want to mention one more thing. There's this guy. I saw him on Facebook, and he's got an Instagram. Follow him at Ralph Cifra, Cifra, and then 2 underscores. Not a great name to have for Instagram, but that's what it is. He is doing the most amazing custom paint work on toys that I've ever seen. He took those, the 4-pack of NECA Turtles, the comic turtles, and he made them works of art. Like, they're basically, they should be hung in a museum. They're just amazing what he's done. I can't even, words do not do it justice. You have to see a picture of what he was able to do with these toys. And he's done a ton of different figures. So his Instagram is just filled with all of his work. Amazing. It's very unique. Like, I don't think I would want every figure to look like this, but there are some, like there's a Wolverine here that looks just crazy. So definitely check him out. Follow him. I think he takes like requests, like you can pay to have your figures painted up like this. Wow. It's not cheap, but the work is amazing. So definitely check him out. I think he sort of burst onto the scene this week. So somebody posted his work on Facebook. Yeah. And then finally someone was sharing his work on Instagram. Those turtles really just set the community on fire because they look so good. But that's the thing with mass market toys. The paint job is where things really falter. Because the sculpts are usually pretty good, and the sculpt doesn't really change from when it's sculpted digitally to when it's a physical product. But the paint is you're not going to get the kind of detail that you need.
It's always fun to see the sculpt under a portrait with someone, and someone comes and takes it and strips all that factory paint off and paints it back up, and how much more detail there is to it. Yes.
So the technology is advancing with the, like, Hasbro and Mattel are doing the computer printed faces, and if we can ever get to the point where they can make the face printing look as good as possible, like toys are already works of art, but it'll be a whole new level because the paint is what's really holding back mass market toys from being as good as they can. But that's where we are right now. That's where we are.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else for this big week?
I've spent all week trying to send you TikTok clips of the upcoming Jakks Pacific Simpsons figures, the deluxe ones. Yeah. And every time I go and do it, it won't let me share it. And then I had to go back and think to myself, it's probably because of all the cease and desists they had over social media about like Sonic and like sharing all that information there.
But that wasn't real. We found out that wasn't real.
Oh, that was fake? Oh, no
that
kidding.
was fake.
Well,
There was a story-
how come I can't share these things?
I don't know. You're trying to copy the link? Like, we use the same account. You can't share to yourself.
No, but I try to share it to your messenger. It's not.
I don't know. What does it do?
weird.
What does it say?
There's no. So sometimes there's like a little enlargement around the messenger logo,
Yeah.
like almost like a button that you would push and it becomes less of a button. This is just less of a button, like it's already been pushed in, and you can't select
Just copy
messenger.
the link. Don't try to send it directly to Messenger.
Okay, I'll
copy
try
the link
that.
and paste that in. But I've
Have you
seen
seen
them.
them?
I've seen it.
You've seen them. Okay.
I think the commercials are great because
they're fun.
they make these toys look much better than the pictures did.
Yes.
Mr. Burns as Dracula, his casket is huge. Like, the value is there because these are more expensive figures, like $25. I think they're $30
Right.
at GameStop.
They might be,
People are
yes.
finding them already. Yeah. Very fun little spots that highlight these. I still don't like Radioactive Man just because he looks too bulky or like too ripped.
comic
Because I'm
book.
just
He's
like
comic
used to
book
seeing.
Radioactive
I'm just
Man.
used to seeing this Super 7 version sitting by me. So
Sure.
he just like his waist is too thin. It just looks weird. But I think Homer looks fun, and I think Mr. Burns looks much better than he did in the photos. So
Yeah.
I don't know that I need them. I don't know, but maybe if they're
If
like on
I
sale
find
or
them on
something.
sale, yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're not like top of my list. I saw Bartman at
Oh,
Walmart
you did?
and I
He's great.
passed.
You did? That's
Yeah,
too bad.
I just don't need them. Like I want, like, if there's a time where I'm like, I wish I had a toy. Like, I'll go pick
He's
him up.
fun.
But like,
He's fun.
He's fun. Yeah.
He has
the
difficulty
blue
holding the
shirts.
slingshot. I'll say that much. That's kind of sad.
That's too bad.
But-
that's too bad.
But as far as like doing an action pose with Bartman, it's great.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they did a commercial showing off like the rest of Series 2 with Lisa and Krusty. So those should be popping up pretty soon. And then the little figures, the $5 figures, are showing up at Five Below.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I mean, that's the same
That
price
is
as
cool.
Target, but that's nice that they're
Right.
going to be in Five Below. Maybe we'll get
It is.
some exclusives or like second series a little faster. I don't know.
It'd be nice. Nice to have
That
selection.
would be
'Cause
nice.
sometimes some stores get variety before other stores.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they don't follow through in the store, so they might get dropped at Target, but they might live on at Five Below.
Sure. Well, if they're only
Yeah.
at Five Below, we have a problem. But the Target, I haven't seen. Target sold through the 5-inch
same.
figures and the little ones. There's like a couple family sets, and like the living room set is not selling super well, but that's to be expected. So I don't know if they are getting more or like we won't see any more until Series 2. But it's like, if you see these in stores, grab them because I don't know.
They're
I'm
fun.
sure they'll refresh them. They're fun. Yeah, people seem to be really taking to them.
Yeah.
Which they did not do for the Super 7 figures because the price was insane. Imagine if we had this to do over again and they just did the figures at $35 and you didn't need like the panda and the box with Mo. You just got Mo and his apron and like a dish rag and maybe the
right.
phone
You
for
won't get a beer.
$35.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's not there. Mention that Super 7 burn real quick because
Oh my God.
it was
I don't-
Simpsons related, right?
So someone asked for an update on what toy line was it? It was like it's not like a toy line I care about, but they were like, "Is there any update on that?" And the Super 7 social media person responded, "Good things come to those who wait." And somebody posted a picture of the unreleased set of Simpsons, and they said, "Not always. Sometimes
Yeah,
you
not
wait and
always."
nothing comes." Yeah. So TMNT for me. The number 4 was the person who tweeted that. So respect to them. That was a sick burn.
Excellent.
Boom.
Excellent.
Roasted. I posted a little gif of like Dwight getting a crown in the office. It's
Yeah.
like, you win the internet today, sir. That was very
That's
good.
funny. That was good.
And obviously Super 7 did not respond to that.
No. Probably, God damn it.
All right. Anything else for this week?
No, not at all.
No. All right. Very good. All right, everybody. Well, you know what we say. We don't want to grow up, but we already did. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
kid.